2023 was a fantastic year for gaming. You don't need me to tell you that. So instead, we're here to celebrate all that 2023 had to offer when it comes to video games. Now keep in mind, I haven't played everything this year, so I'm mostly gonna go over the stuff I either bought or played or saw, because it's going to be literally impossible to go over every single game that released this year. We're also not going to mention purely the new releases, also some games that we enjoyed this year. Maybe a game that I bought last year, or maybe at some other point in time. There were quite a few games that we played either on stream or on my own that I bought already last year that I finally had the time to play right now. And since it's Christmas time, I'm not going to just talk about my own favorite games or games that I played this year, but I've invited quite a few other creators to talk about some of their favorite games this year. What were some of your favorite games that you played this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. First, we're going to talk about a few honorable mentions. Games I did play this year, but not really finished or didn't really get to all too much. And the first game for that is Fire Emblem Engage. Going over chronological order, this game released at the very beginning of this year, of course in January, and after playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, I wanted to give this game a shot. I didn't get to play it all too much, but for what I've played, it's a very fun Fire Emblem game. It's not as modern as Fire Emblem Three Houses, but it goes to more of the classic Fire Emblem. But it was very cool that they brought back certain characters from the franchise. If you're into tactical games, Fire Emblem is definitely for you, although I would have to say that you would enjoy this game even more if you are big into Fire Emblem, as some of the heroes or some of the summons are from the series past. Oh, and if you're a fan of Smash Brothers, yeah, this is Fire Emblem, sorry, never mind. Ignoring the Smash memes, you'll definitely have a great time with Fire Emblem Engage. Now, when it comes to games that released late last year that I did not have the chance to, but I picked up later, a prime example of that is Sonic Frontiers. I wouldn't say I am the biggest Sonic guy. I haven't played every single Sonic game, but Frontiers definitely looked fun, especially on the PS5, because on the Nintendo Switch it ran almost as poorly as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, everybody's favorite optimized Switch game. Now, I bought this game sometime in like March or something, but I haven't given it a shot yet, because I just didn't have time to play the game, because I was playing too many other games at the time, which has kind of been a recurring theme over the year. Either way, the game was already complete at the start, and later on, of course, got many more updates, which is very cool since Sonic Superstars also released this year, and usually video game companies go over to the next game, but they did not really forget about Sonic Frontiers, and it's a really nice statement from Sega for their first truly open world Sonic game. Now, if you're a true OG, aka you watched me back in 2020 or 2021, you might remember some of the streams that I was on featuring Rokelord. Now, in these streams, me and Rokelord would talk about some of the best Nintendo games, not just from that year, but in general. Now, one of the main topics that always came to mind was the topic of Pikmin, since neither me or Rokelord never really touched Pikmin all too much. And so this year, I thought it would be fun to pick up Pikmin 4. Although, just like Sonic Frontiers, I have yet to touch this game. It's still sealed. Pikmin 4 was one of the big games Nintendo was truly pushing this year, together with, of course, Zelda and Mario. And just seeing the name Pikmin alongside that is really cool for such a small and more niche series that originally I only stumbled upon due to Olimar being into Super Smash Brothers. This Pikmin looks a lot more enticing than the other ones, but it is very cool that you can play the entire Pikmin franchise on Switch with Pikmin 1, 2, 3 Deluxe, and of course 4 now on Switch. This iteration though looks like it's a lot more mainstream, it's the best selling one, and honestly in terms of the controls and all the options you have, is definitely a game that I want to give a try next year if I ever have some time to go for my backlog. Now, another game that I didn't really get to play this year is Baldur's Gate 3, which was the winner of the Game Awards, and I hadn't really heard of the game before the Game Awards itself. I don't know how this masterpiece flew over my radar, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, great game that released this year. Speaking of my backlog, and a game that I didn't buy yet, but I still want to buy and play sometime next year, is Spider-Man 2. I never played the original Spider-Man when it originally released on the PS4, as I never owned a PS4, but now that I own a PS5, I definitely want to give this game a go, as I saw a few streamer friends of mine play this game, and honestly, it looks mad fun. I'm a big Marvel fan, so I hope this game would be fun, as the Avengers, from what I heard, it wasn't really as great as Spider-Man. Now, for the final honorable mention, this game came out very recently, and I was actually planning on playing it already, but I just haven't had the time to sit down for it yet, but that I will be playing next year on stream, which is the Super Mario RPG remake. The fact that I even uttered those words is wild to me, as I never thought Nintendo and Square Enix would team up and bring this game back. I thought it was actually stuck in like some sort of development, or not really, like that Nintendo and Square really wanted to remake it, as who owned what and whatever, but they actually bundled their powers and re-released this game. Now, to call this one a classic is definitely an understatement. The fact that you can listen to the original classic soundtrack, but also to a new orchestral remix one, is a very nice touch from Nintendo themselves, and I can't wait to play Super Mario RPG next year. Alrighty, with the honorable mentions out of the way, we're going to go ahead and go over to our first guest of the day. Take it away, Lanky.
I think one of my favourite games this year, which I've played, and I wish I'd have done it on stream, was Liza P. Liza P's been a fantastic Souls game, which I absolutely just loved. I mean, honestly, the game was absolutely fantastic. It has brilliant combat, brilliant bosses, and in truth, if I'd have streamed that game, it probably would have been like my game of the year. I think it is probably my game of the year, in all honesty. We had other fantastic games like Party Animals, which came out this year. I think Fall Guys got a massive update as well. I don't know whether this was this year. I know it got like a Marbles update. I'm literally going to play it now. Like, I'm talking about it right now. Look, I'm about to play Fall Guys, so I've got that ready to play. so I'm definitely liking this game. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that was a good one. That was a really interesting take on the formula. By the same people who did the Friday the 13th games. Really enjoyed that one. So I'm kind of happy that they made a second game kind of like it. And then I'm not really too sure what other games there was. I mean, Elden Ring has got its new DLC coming out. I think that's in February next year. I'm looking forward to that one. There's other games like Ark 2 which came out. That was kind of hyped up. Looks good. Haven't played it. Don't know if I will. There's loads of games really which have came out this year, and a lot of them have just kind of gone under the radar in my opinion. But definitely saying like my top 3 games: Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Party Animals, and definitely Liza P. An absolute belter of a game.
Liza P, definitely a game that went over my radar. Thanks for sharing, Lanky. The next game up is a game that took up my hype for the first half of the year, and a sequel I was looking forward to for years, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, for once a game that I did play. I'm currently still streaming The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on my Twitch, and it's been an absolute blast so far. Definitely not anywhere close to beating it yet, but the fact that you can just go off the beaten path just like Breath of the Wild, you can just do your thing. Do you want to do a shrine now? Go ahead, do your shrine. Do you want to do the story? Do the story. The freedom of this game is absolutely incredible, and I'm honestly in love with the new Sheikah powers. Magnesis, Cryonis, Stasis, those were some fun powers in Breath of the Wild, but in this game you can literally mix and match stuff. You can go through ceilings, and there's so much more potential in pretty much the same world that was in Breath of the Wild. I don't know if it's due to the fact that this world is so big, or that they actually did include a whole lot of new stuff, but this doesn't even feel like the same world to me. There's so much to this game. Shout out to the new dungeons for being even more incredible compared to the Divine Beasts from Breath of the Wild, and of course the characters who did return from Breath of the Wild, such as Yunobo, for being even more awesome in this game. Don't take it from me though, take it from our next guest, who is a huge fan of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and plays it a ton. Take it away, Nintendo Hawk.
What is my favorite game of the year? Well, based on my hat, you can probably guess, but it's Tears of the Kingdom. This game is freaking amazing. Absolute masterpiece. They took what made Breath of the Wild so great and expanded upon it. There is so many things to do in Tears of the Kingdom. In fact, I'm still trying to 100% the game, and it's been like 6 months. That's kind of crazy. This game is so freaking good. I love the new characters, love the new side adventures, like all of the new places, because now you have the surface, you have the sky, and you even have the depths. And how the depths work in this game is actually super cool, because every shrine in the game, under it is a light root in the depths, which helps light up the area, which is super cool. So, and then vice versa. So if you found like a light root, you can bet on there being a shrine on the surface. So if you didn't find one yet, well, there you go. Is really cool. And yeah, that reward you got from finishing every shrine, super cool. The only thing is, I wish there was DLC. DLC made me love Breath of the Wild even more, but that just means they added everything they wanted, and that's really cool. It got nominated for Game of the Year, and I really hope it wins, because it really deserves it. It did so much. There's so much creativity you can do with this game. Like, the new abilities are incredible. You have Ultra Hand that lets you build all kinds of stuff. It is really cool. And they have Fuse, which allows you to just attach things to weapons and make some of the most insane weapon combos. And then you have Ascend, which allows you to just go right through the top of ceilings, so you don't have to always climb. And then you got Recall, which allows you to just freaking reverse time. Like, what? That is insane. I've broken the game many times with that ability. It is ridiculous. It's really fun. The new armor was really, really cool. They even had like even recently, I have found out like the slip resistant armor, like once you upgrade it through the Great Fairies, it becomes slip proof. That means you can't slip from rain at all. That is crazy. Yeah, this is an amazing game. Definitely my favorite game of the year. Hope it wins game of the year at the Game Awards this year. It deserves it. It is so good.
Tears of the Kingdom has been worth the wait ever since it first got revealed in 2019, and thank you Nintendo for sharing your experience. Up next, I want to talk about a game that I have a ton of experience with, whether it's competitively in the past or that it's just nowadays with having a lot of fun. A game that got updated a lot this year, being Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Ah yes, a game that got released in 2014 and got re-released in 2017. Why am I talking about it in 2023? Well, I got 4 words for you. The Booster Course Pass. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass got revealed last year, but the first 3 waves were honestly still a little getting into, and it really got kicked off this year. We got some absolute classics and some bangers, including Singapore Speedway, Yoshi's Island, Athens Dash, Squeaky Clean Sprint, Vancouver Velocity, Wii Rainbow Road, and of course SNES Bowser's Castle 3, because yes, they actually made a good SNES track. And I don't think I'm the only one with that opinion, as our next guest, Monsuno, knows a lot about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well.
What is up, guys? If you guys don't know me already, I am Monsuno. I have been an Alka's friend for a hot minute. I thank him for inviting me to his YouTube video. Now, what I would say is my favorite game of 2023. I actually been thinking about it. I have to give it to Mario Kart because of the last 4, 5, and 6 waves that came in 2023. Because I won't lie, waves 1, 2, and 3 were kind of, I wouldn't say mid, but I wouldn't say they're as good as waves 4 and 5 and 6. Because I feel like waves 4, 5, and 6, the graphics were better, the tracks were a little bit better. Honestly, it was just more fun to play on as well. So I'd probably have to give it to Mario Kart. And also, I've met so many people from Twitch Plays Mario Kart. I feel like I've in my best form of Mario Kart, so I've improved a lot in it. And I've also met people like Lanky. I've met Floppy. There's Lukalele. There's Alka. I've always met. There's Ditto, Eggy, Ness. There's so many other great streamers I've met from it as well. So yeah, I would have to give it to Mario Kart. Besides Peachette, we don't talk about Peachette. Peachette's the worst character in Mario Kart existence. You can't change my mind. I don't care if she's meta. She's awful. But anyways, I'd have to give it to Mario Kart though. I was thinking of picking Tears of the Kingdom. I love Tears of the Kingdom because obviously it won Best Adventure Game, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, it definitely deserves that title because man, it's so good. It's one of the best Switch games ever too. It's probably the best Zelda game ever. Maybe going a little too far with it, but I don't know. But it is Mario Kart, obviously, because again, I've met so many amazing people from Mario Kart, especially with Twitch Plays Mario Kart. Shout out to Alcariz for that. If you guys not subbed to this guy, this man's a goat.
Thank you for sharing, Monsuno, and thank you for all the fun collabs this year. It's been an absolute blast playing this game on stream, and I can't wait to play more of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe next year with both you guys watching right now and with you, Monsuno. Now, the biggest part of the Booster Course Pass were the retro tracks, and of course some of them were more decisive than others, and of course most of them were brought over from Mario Kart Wii. So up next we got HawksWithSox sharing his favorite game he's played this year.
My favorite game I played this year was Mario Kart Wii. The reason I picked Mario Kart Wii was because ever since I was little I played this game. It's always been my favorite game. Played it to death. I love the mechanics, love all the maps, love all the characters, and it still surprises me how the community is still this strong, but it just makes it a special game. And another reason why it's my favorite game is because during COVID, my family and I, until this day, still go downstairs into our basement, play this game every weekend. 2 days a week, play 8 maps, and it's just like one of the best times still I've ever had playing this game with my family. And during COVID, when my grandpa passed, we've always played this game together, and that just makes this game so much more special to me, because I feel like when playing a game with your loved ones and your friends just makes a game so much more special, and that's why Mario Kart Wii is my favorite game this year.
Mario Kart Wii is such a huge game thanks to its amazing community, always making new stuff around it and always keeping on playing it. They literally kept the online up. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe might be big thanks to Nintendo, but Mario Kart Wii is huge thanks to its fans. And HawksWithSox, thank you for sharing. Up next is a game that didn't really get a lot of updates, but continues to be the biggest game on stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I am of course referring to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, Ultimate is long done with new updates. It has mostly been, you know, me and you guys playing on stream and otherwise joining the tournaments here and there. From getting top 16 at Dutch Comic Con Summer Edition to, of course, the Alcors Invitational and all the other tournaments in between. It's been an absolute blast playing Smash Bros. With you guys or against you guys. And now to the fact that Sora's getting an amiibo, we're getting new spirits, the game is apparently still getting updates. The biggest crossover of all time in a game I can never stop playing. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, definitely a huge one. With that out of the way, we're going to go straight to the next guest. Take it away, Burley.
Hey everyone, Brotherman Gaming here. Thank you, Elka, for asking me to be part of this video. My favorite game of 2023, I gotta go Sea of Stars. It's an indie game done by the Canadian studio Sabotage Studio. It's a game I actually kickstarted. It is a turn-based, not JRPG, but turn-based RPG. The graphical style on this is just so gorgeous. The HD kind of 16-bit. I think you'll just, if you take a look at it, you'll just fall in love with the art style. It's got the composer that did the soundtrack for Chrono Trigger. So you have that awesome, awesome soundtrack. Like, there's songs on this that I listen to all the time, whether it be on YouTube or just because I also have the soundtrack. Put them on my phone and listen to them from time to time. Combat is it is turn-based, but it's got the active time hit component from like games like Super Mario RPG, so you can do extra damage, block to take less damage, and stuff like that. Which is a really fun. It's not just one of those where you can just sit and just mash the X or A button to get through. Plus, you get cool, unique abilities. You get 6 different party members, and they're all unique. And you're constantly going to be, especially when you get later in the game, be swapping them, because you have the whole break system with on enemies and bosses. They'll get these little tiles and a number to say how many turns before they do their super attack. So you want to break those to break it so they can't do their attack. Dungeons are really cool. I really like the dungeons because, in a sense, when you're going through them, you will have to use some of your abilities as you're going through the game. Use them to puzzle solve. You'll get extra little things, items, and goodies for searching and exploring. And they have a cool little system called the artifacts that you can buy and turn them on to adjust not only the difficulty, but just makes other effects. So even if you're not the greatest at turn-based RPGs, you can make it easier. There's ones I turned on one for the timed hits because I suck with my timing, so it just gave me a better window. But you can do stuff to make the shop selling items cheaper. You can get ones to like recover some MP and HP at the end of every battle. Stuff to make the game balanced and set the difficulty the way you want. Highly recommend you go check out Sea of Stars.
Another banger that went under my radar. Thank you so much for sharing, Burley. Now, as we're getting more and more to the end of this, I want to touch upon 2 huge RPGs I played this year and then I had an absolute blast with on stream. And I'm of course referring to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ah yes, Alka's finally playing a game from 2020. Now, why am I grouping these 2 games together? Honestly, they both mean a ton to me. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game I've wanted to play forever. It has looked so good and like so much fun. Of course, Cloud and Sephiroth are some of my favorite characters in Smash Bros. And it did not disappoint. As you can see in the hour-long Final Fantasy VII Remake experience, It was such a long game, but I enjoyed every minute of it. And with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming up next year, already in February, I cannot wait to play that game as well. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of those games that came out last year that I just didn't get the chance to play through enough. The Xenoblade series is such a fun series. It's one of my favorite, and that's due to you guys on stream. The passion that you guys have for this game and this franchise all alone is so amazing. It's so inspiring, and it's definitely inspired me to play through all of these games on stream. And getting through 3 definitely felt like the community, us coming together to beat this game. As you know, I don't know a lot about RPGs. Whether it was Noah or the arguments between who was better, Uni or Mio, we were always discussing, we were always talking, we were always playing this game, and it took a while to get through this one, but I cannot wait to what's next for the DLC of Xenoblade 3 that I still need to play. If you missed out on this amazing journey on stream, then don't worry, as early next year I will be making the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 experience, which is going to include everything from the start of the game all the way up to the final boss, as it's going to catalog the amazing journey we had. Up next is our final guest before we get into my favorite game of the year. Take it away, Ditto.
Hello, Alka Squad. It's me, Devious Ditto. If you're unaware, I've been on the Alcaraz channel for quite a few times now. Known Alcaraz for a good 2 years now? I think it's 2 years. The whole one goes for a year. A few years, knowing the Dutch boy from across the pond, and even though he's not from across the pond. I'm rambling now. Anyway, Alcaraz messaged me the other day saying for me to talk to you guys about what my personally favourite game of 2023 was. Now, there's been a lot of good games that came out this year. Super Mario Bros. Wonder for a start. You know, all the big games that came out this year. Wonder's probably the main one. New Jackbox is always fun. And yeah, but me personally, the biggest game that I've enjoyed the most playing in 2023 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, there's been a lot of new content for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe this year. We had Wave 4, 5 and 6 all come out this year. Each one I think got better and better and better. We've finally got some decent GameCube tracks. We've got DK Mountain now, we've got Daisy Cruiser, we've got Bowser's Castle now, SNES Bowser's Castle, we've got Wii Rainbow Road, we've got 3DS Rainbow Road, we've got all sorts of great, amazing maps, we've got new characters now. My child is finally in the game. My boy Diddy Kong is finally in Mario Kart. I'm gassed and hyped for that. That was the biggest, best day of the year. That's sad, maybe a little bit. But Diddy Kong is finally here. All you other streamers all had your characters in the game for ages. Me? No Diddy Kong. But we've had so much big events this year as well. I hit 500 followers playing Mario Kart this year. I've done many Mario Kart based tournaments, raised money for charity. I've done big collabs with Alcaraz, I've done it with Lanky, we've done Twitch Plays Mario Kart, we've done loads of Mario Kart content this year, we've met some amazing people through Mario Kart as well, and yeah, I don't see Mario Kart going anywhere at all. Next year might not be as hype because there's no new content coming out for it, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there is some Mario Kart some news next year, maybe a sneak preview Mario Kart 10 or 9, whatever they want to do. New console, new Mario Kart, they make a DLC 2, I don't know, but me personally, that was my favourite game of 2023. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Alka Squad, and yeah, have a great 2024.
Thank you so much, Ditto, for sharing. Before we get into the final game today, I really quickly want to thank our guests for joining in today. And of course for sharing their games as well, as this time of year is a time of coming together, a time of celebrating what happened this year. And some of you guys I met this year, some of you guys already knew before, but it's been an absolute treat playing, streaming, and having a great time with you guys. Anyways, what was the game that I personally enjoyed the most this year? Well, that game, ladies and gentlemen, is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Yes, games like The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom might have been bigger, but Mario Bros. Wonder was just a game I was very hyped for from the get-go. The new art style looks amazing. The fact that, we got a new 2D Mario game in 2023 after so long since New Super Mario Bros. U, which was 2012, that's 11 years ago. This game oozes with creativity, whether it comes to all the new power-ups, all the different levels. There's so much creativity in here, even with the Wonder Seeds themselves, and I would recommend anybody that's ever enjoyed the Mario series or Mario platformers with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It was hard thinking what Mario would be next after Super Mario Maker 2, where literally every single Mario game was in there that you could just create your levels on your own, but there's so much new stuff in here. The Wonder Seeds are absolutely amazing, and it truly feels like a 3D Mario game in 2D. What was your favorite game that you've played this year? Definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and hope you guys celebrate 2023 in the best way possible, and hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.